Hey Fit Fam, Coach Alicia here. Hope you guys are doing wonderful today. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the 6 types of foods that we want to ensure that we have in our diets in order to maintain a good and healthy immune system. And also on the other side of that, 3 types of foods that we want to try to limit or avoid because they actually work against supporting a healthy immune system. But before we dive into that, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about whole foods. Now, I know you're probably familiar with whole foods. Whole foods are the foods that have the nutrients that we need on a daily basis, that we need to get into our bodies and that support a good and healthy immune system. So whole foods are things like lean protein, eggs, veggies, whole grains, fruits, potatoes, different things like that. None of the processed foods. Also, a couple things I want you guys to be familiar with for this video. We have a couple terms or words for you guys to know, and one of them is antioxidants. So these are the things that are found in the food that help support our cells, that help prevent damage from happening to those cells from just different chemicals or toxins that get into our system, or infections and different things like that. Another term is anti-inflammation or anti-inflammatory properties. Want to be familiar with these? It's good to know that inflammation actually can lead to a whole slew of things, negative things within our bodies, which include reducing our immune system function and can actually prevent our metabolism from working as well as it should. So those are the things we want to avoid from happening. So want to dive right in. We got 6 foods that we want to get more of in our diets. The first one is going to be protein. Yep, we need protein. You guys probably already knew that. So protein helps with recovery and healing, and it helps to build lean muscle. It helps to build the antibodies that our immune system needs, that our immune system is using to fight off any viruses and infections and different things like that. So when we say protein, we mean lean protein. So we're talking about like chicken, fish, eggs, beans, things like that. And yes, even protein powder. However, there are a few things to take note of when it comes to protein powder. We just want to make sure that it is a high quality protein powder and that there's not a lot of or really any additives like sugar, any other fake stuff in there. We just want to avoid those things. So a high quality protein powder is best. FBBC's True Lean supplement line is amazing. Everything's really, really clean, tastes great. So that is a wonderful option for you guys if you have not tried it yet. Very high quality stuff. So there's that. And you guys are probably wondering, okay, well, what about red meat? Because red meat has protein, so can I eat red meat? The answer is yes, you can. Just more so in moderation. So it's not something that we want to have very much of on a regular basis, only because it is high in saturated fat content. And limiting saturated fats can actually help to reduce inflammation, and in turn will help to improve our immune system function. So moving on, food number 2. Well, this one isn't really a food, but it's spices, believe it or not. There are some spices that are very beneficial to our bodies and to our immune system function. 3 in particular. We're going to talk about garlic, turmeric, and ginger. So these have research that has shown that these improve our immune system. So, and they all have anti-inflammatory properties. They have antibacterial, antiviral, or antivirus properties. So huge, huge benefits to these 3 spices here. Again, garlic, turmeric, and ginger. I love all of these, especially garlic. So, if you love garlic too, if you're cooking like spaghetti, why not just chop up some fresh garlic, throw it in there with it, extra or added benefits to that. So keep those things in mind. Next up, we're going to try to power through these for you guys. We got dark leafy greens. So this is the number 3 food, and there are actually 3 that sit at the top of the list. So we want spinach, we want arugula, and we want kale. These are all really high in vitamin C and vitamin K, which are antioxidants. They're cell protectors, they're immune system boosters, and they all include folate. So folate has vitamin B in it, and that helps with cell growth, and it also helps to boost metabolism. So great benefits there. And all of these things are going to help promote our cell and immune system function. So want to get our dark leafy greens in there. Spinach, arugula, and kale to be specific. Next up, we got citrus fruits. So like oranges, limes, lemons, even grapefruit, if you're a fan of grapefruit. So these are all high in vitamin C, and I don't have to tell you guys, vitamin C is important. You guys already know that. It's a wonderful antioxidant. So a little fun fact about our bodies and vitamin C, we are actually not able to produce or store vitamin C, so that's why it's really, really vital that we get our vitamin C through our whole foods, or perhaps a supplement if we're not getting enough of it in our whole foods. So vitamin C rich foods are actually going to help with the formation of antibodies in our system, which we need to help us fight off different infections and viruses and things like that. All right, moving on. Next food, we have fermented foods. We're gonna talk about fermented foods. So these are our yogurts, kombucha, sauerkraut even. These are all really, really great for our gut health. And our gut health actually relies on the good bacteria within our gut. And these foods actually help to improve the good bacteria down there. So very much needed. And when the good bacteria is improved, inflammation in the body is actually decreased. And we already know what inflammation can do to the body. So any way we can decrease it, we're gonna take it, or hopefully we are gonna take it. We're gonna take advantage of that. So when inflammation is decreased, that actually improves our immune system function. All right, moving on. This is the last one, number 6. We're gonna talk about broths. Yes, so like soup broth, except not specifically soup broth, but that's just to give you an example, that kind of broth. So things like bone broth are actually very high in vitamins and minerals, and they also have protein in them. So like with the other protein we talked about earlier, these things also help with healing and recovery too. So with all of these things working together, our body actually can absorb the broth and its nutrients really, really easily, which is great. And again, helping with anti-inflammation and boosting the immune system at the same time. So those are the 6 foods or types of foods that we want to get into our daily diets on a regular basis. So now we're going to talk about the other side of things, the 3 types of food that we want to avoid or very much limit in our diets, because they can actually prevent our immune system from functioning at its best, which is not something that we want. So first up, sugar. Yeah, I know. So sugar causes lots of inflammation, and it can also suppress the immune system, which is obviously the opposite of what we're trying to do here. So try to avoid the sugar, which I don't think I have to tell you guys twice. You guys already know that, or limit the sugar, I should say. Don't avoid it altogether. Next up, we have highly processed foods. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the whole foods that we were talking about earlier. The whole foods are what we want because they have all the nutrients. The highly processed foods have pretty much zip going on with them. We don't really want to fill our bodies with highly processed foods whatsoever. 2 important things regarding processed foods. One of them, so there are typically things included in these foods that our bodies are not made to digest well, which why would we want to put our bodies through so much stress like that? So, and when we're not digesting things well and we're taking in these processed foods, that can actually cause or increase inflammation in the body and reduce immune cell function. The other thing, if we're eating and getting a lot of processed foods in our diet, that probably means that we're not getting enough of the whole foods in our diet, meaning we're not getting all of the nutrients that we need in our diet. So whole foods, yes. Processed foods, no. All right. The third thing to try to limit or avoid is alcohol. Yes. So drinking often is actually going to suppress the immune system. Also, as we're drinking alcohol, our bodies are trying to get it digested and out of our system. And when that's happening, as we're eating at the same time, when we're drinking alcohol and eating, our bodies are not taking in the nutrients from the food properly. The nutrients that we could be getting from the food, our bodies aren't able to take that in properly. So we want all those nutrients working together, to build up our immune system, and drinking alcohol is only going to hinder that process. So limiting our alcohol intake is also really important. Alrighty, you guys, that was it. I think I covered everything. So you have your foods that you want to get a lot of, more of in our daily diets on a regular basis, and then we have the foods, or the types of foods that we want to avoid or limit in our diets on a daily basis. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you got some great information from it, and I will talk to you guys soon. We got more videos coming.